Well, welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, in studio with Ed Baxter, and we've got John Bushe, Zero Waste Energy Advocacy, president and co-founder on the show with us. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Pleasure to be here.
I'm glad you're here. You did an interview. I think actually your partner did an interview with Ed at the Bitcoin Super Conference. Before we get too deep into the weeds on what we're doing with you, what you're doing to save the world, to give us some background on you, and then explain to our audience what Zero Waste Advocacy does.
Okay, sure. I am a 39-year-old entrepreneur, father of 4, and former sergeant in the Marine Corps. That's where I first got into waste. I was assigned a hazmat rep to my platoon handling their hazardous materials for the motor pool and stuff. And, learned advertising at SMU college in Dallas, and then, just started the entrepreneur journey, and did that in Austin, Texas, which adopted Zero Waste in 2008. So I was there. They invited businesses to City Hall, and essentially they had done a gap analysis looking for business opportunities inside of this conversation of zero waste. And what zero waste is a goal that a business or a community or even a family or an individual can set this goal, and it immediately takes you from being wasteful in the design of the systems in your house or your business. Takes you from being wasteful to efficient, sustainable, and historically saves a lot of money. So it's kind of like green with the numbers and the economics to make green profitable, which is kind of a problem within sustainability. Is a lot of times businesses think it's too expensive to do the right thing, so they don't. And really what's happening is they're paying to waste instead of paying to reuse, compost, recycle, or even donating those materials for a tax benefit. So there's just a better way to go. Nature is the model. There's no waste in the forest. And, Mother Earth already figured this out, so it's just kind of us remembering what we knew at one time. But in around World War II, we started just making all these disposable things, and plastic came along, and styrofoam, and we just got into this situation where we're throwing assets in holes, and we're losing all that upstream mining energy that it took to get those resources. So when you throw a can away, you're actually throwing 9 more that it took to make that one can. So it's like a really big opportunity to transform the way that we're thinking right now. And cities like General Motors saving billions at all their manufacturing facilities. Dallas is now moving towards zero waste. So Texas is kind of ground zero. We waste more per person per day than any other state. And it's actually 7.5 pounds a person. And I got that data from the Compost Master curriculum here in Texas. So,
John, let me jump in there. So what are you doing to change the way people are disposing of the waste products, or how this is happening? What actual physical things are taking place because of your effort?
Yeah, well, first we go in and we just review what they're already doing and start collecting that data. So that's where the tech comes in. We call it smart hauls, smart dumpsters, smart waste. So just putting sensors in the trash can that can tell us when they're full, because what we have found is businesses are often getting over-serviced. And, it's basically just kind of doing an analysis. And just in the billing, there's often tons of discrepancies, and just in the actual hauling of the materials, a lot of times they're hauling air instead of dumping it when it's full. So it's getting, data, Internet of Things sensors in the containers and the trucks that can just make things a little more efficient. The blockchain is a conversation that opens the door for provenance, which is cradle-to-cradle tracking of these assets, creating a proof of work, proof of recycle, data output to the blockchain so the community knows that the materials went to where they were supposed to go, which is another problem sometimes. Businesses are being charged for recycling, and really those materials go into the landfill. There was just a local article about that.
Are you guys doing an ICO to grow your business?
Like when we started this journey, we could see that around the corner. It seems like a really good fit. Unfortunately, the jurisdiction we're in is really made us feel like there's danger there, like it's kind of like legal quicksand. So we decided to do an airdrop and just create an organic market that way with our token, which is, the way that we're incentivizing the right behavior is when the materials go where they're supposed to go, you get a reward, save token. So, we're tokenizing the discards. The discards are 12 asset classes, like metals and plastics, that we should be tracking better and not throwing in holes. And this allows, and on top of that, we're sending those materials overseas most of the time. I'm sure you can remember the trash barge picture in New York. It's like rather than hauling all that to China or an island or the ocean, it's like, why not have local manufacturing using those materials, again, to create local green jobs.
Ed, when you were interviewing Zero Waste Advocacy at the Bitcoin conference, what came out with the conversation there? Bring that up, with John.
One of the things we talked about was Ed Baxter from Bison Creek Capital, by the way, John. But one of the things that we talked about when we had that interview was the issue with which she said she could literally go to any dumpster and create, for lack of a better term, commerce from the things that were there, and also show everybody ways that there are certain things we're trying to recycle that we necessarily can't recycle. I guess the real question would be is that, how do you incentivize a change in behavior that's ingrained that deep in society?
Well, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. There's projects like Recycle Bank, which gives you like T-shirts and cookies if you do stuff. But, basically with the cryptocurrency thing, you get a cryptocurrency and hold it for a couple of years, and odds are it's going to multiply a lot, So there's some value there that hasn't been tapped before, and at the same time, that conversation can scare the crap out of people. So, maybe we'll do it in a way where they don't know that tech is behind it. They just get the reward and cash it out when they need it, and that's all they know as far as the under the hood stuff. But the idea is basically pay people to do the right thing instead of them, get paid for your assets instead of paying to throw them in a hole.
John, we got to end it right there. Thanks for being a guest on the show.
Hey, it was a pleasure. Can I give the website?
Absolutely. ZeroWasteAdvocacy.com.
ZeroWasteAdvocacy.com. There's a button to our Discord, and if you want to participate in the airdrop, just find our Discord on the website, which is improving weekly as we get more focus.
Got it. Thank you, John.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You've been listening to CEO Money. Michael Yorba and Ed Baxter, brought to you by Tycon Partners.